A few weeks ago, we covered the topic Top 10 Mario Facts. Now, we're jumping to the other iconic gaming franchise, Sonic. And I like to try something new and say, leave a like if you learn something new. I'm curious. Number 10. Sonic can't swim because of a research error. Once it was decided by Sega that a hedgehog was going to be the basis for their new mascot, it was assumed, at least I assume it was assumed, that hedgehogs couldn't swim. Unfortunately for them, this is not true. Hedgehogs can in fact swim, quite cutely I may add. To think, one of the most frustrating ways to die could have been avoided if they had checked their facts. Number 9. How Sonic got his speed and colour. Sonic has had a few origin stories through the various medias that portray him. But did you know, in the comics, he got his speed and his colour due to a lab accident involving a hamster wheel and trainers. Number 8. The only game made based on the comics. Like I said earlier, Sonic's stories vary through where you see them. The Sonic comics are considered by the fans as the best of the Sonic canons, but for some reason it doesn't show up in the games. The only exception that follows the Archie comics and its continuity is Sonic Spinball, and that's only because of a cameo from Sally and Bunny in the bonus stages. Number 7. Fear used to tackle piracy. Piracy has been an issue for many years, and back then it was no exception. As countermeasures, companies would add anti-piracy software, either corrupting the game or making it unplayable. But Sega took it a strange step further, by making the game fall onto a strange screen if piracy is detected. The screen comprised of odd, distorted images of Sonic, with what appeared to be an old man face with the message, "Fun is infinite with Sega Enterprises," signed by Majin. Majin roughly translates to the devil. All the while, creepy music played in the background, along with ominous laughter. Number 6. The Sega chant. Due to a last-second change, the original Sonic game had a large, blank space on the cartridge. In place, the developers put the now iconic Sega chant and logo screen that you see every time you start up the game. What is amazing is that the chant took up 1/8 of the available space on the cartridge and was bigger than some levels. Number 5. Why Sonic is blue. Earlier, I explained why Sonic was blue in the comics, but do you know why he was chosen to be blue in the first place? Well, it's actually quite obvious when it's made apparent. His blue matches the Sega logo, further adding brand awareness for their mascot. Number 4. Sonic's skid noise. If you abruptly stop Sonic while running fast, he will inadvertently skid, causing the iconic sound we all know without really having to hear it. But did you know it wasn't originally Sonic's sound to begin with? It actually came from Sega's racing title, Outrun. Although nowadays, it is much more associated with Sonic. Number 3. The games have surpassed Sonic's age. In Sonic's main canon, he is 15 years old. Even in the game Sonic Generations, where Sonic had a birthday in the game, Sonic is still 15 years old, which doesn't make too much sense if you ask me. It's a bit like an Ash Ketchum syndrome of never aging. But here's something depressing, for me at least. Sonic's real-life lifespan is older than his character's age. Number 2. Sonic's comics. Sonic's comics have been running for quite some time now, and to those who fell off their radar, they're still running today. At over 20 years old now, it's the longest running comic book series based on a video game. Number 1. Sonic's original name. When Sega were coming up with the concepts for an iconic mascot, they went through many ideas, even one where Dr. Robotnik was going to be the protagonist. One of the ideas many people are glad they scrapped was the name Feel the Rabbit, which to me sounds like a euphemism mix of masturbating and getting high. This rabbit would pick things up with his ears and attack them with his body or throw them. If this idea sounds familiar, it's because this game mechanic was upcycled to another Sega character, Rystar. They also decided to come back to the rabbit idea when they came up with the equally odd named Cream the Rabbit. Yeah. So there you have it. If you learned something new, leave a like, and if there's one I missed, leave it in the comments. I love reading what you guys add. Anyway, thanks for watching and goodbye.